this morning, former President Donald Trump facing 7 federal charges related to those classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago less than 1 year ago.
That's according to sources who also tell ABC News that a grand jury in Miami decided to indict Trump on charges including conspiracy to obstruct justice. Our co-anchor Aaron Guy is live in Miami for us this morning. And Aaron, this is really a historic moment, a former president facing federal charges for the first time.
Absolutely, Natalie and Stephen, which is why the eyes of the nation upon us here, right here in South Florida. And in this federal courthouse right here beside me on Tuesday at 3 o'clock, the former president has been ordered to appear before a judge, something we're expecting to see. Now, the Justice Department, to make it clear, has not yet to confirm the indictment, but ABC News is reporting that Trump could face 7 charges, including conspiracy to obstruct justice. Now, the former president breaking the news himself in a lengthy statement last night, saying he's been summoned to be in court, also claiming in this video that he's an innocent man.
I'm an innocent man. I'm an innocent person. They come after me because now we're leading in the polls again by a lot against Biden and against the Republicans by a lot.
Well, and new overnight, we're hearing from the former president's attorney in the case. He says his client is ready for this legal battle.
He knows he's innocent. He knows this is garbage. He knows there's fundamental flaws with each one of the counts that they're apparently putting in this indictment. And he knows that the whole process, starting from the archivist, was a corrupt and politicized one. So he's not shrinking from the fight.
So how did we get to this day? The grand jury's decision, really a culmination of a months-long investigation into Trump's allegations and alleged mishandling of classified documents found at his Mar-a-Lago home last August. Now, this indictment is the first time former President Trump has been indicted when it comes to federal charges, but he's already facing charges in the state of New York. Back in April, Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 counts of falsifying business records over hush money payments he's accused of making to adult film star Stormy Daniels. A trial date is set for March 25th of next year, which of course was right in the middle of the presidential primaries. Now, Trump is considered a frontrunner for the 2024 Republican presidential nomination. So the big question that a lot of people have is, what does this federal indictment mean for his run for president? I want to bring in our team coverage, Caleb Califano, right now here in Miami as well, after legal experts are weighing in on what this means. Caleb, fill us in.
Aaron, good morning. And that's right. Palm Beach County State Attorney Dave Ehrenberg says at least when it comes to the Republican primary, this actually could be a good thing, this indictment, and it could motivate Trump's voter base.
The more indictments against Donald Trump, the better it will be for him within the Republican primary. I think his base voters will get more motivated, more juiced up to come out and vote for him.
Now, in recent polls, the former president still has a sizable lead over the other Republicans for the 2024 presidential nomination. This morning, Trump is declaring his innocence in a new video, calling the federal indictment related to his handling of classified information a hoax. Former DOJ attorney Richard Serafini says Trump's comments are just noise outside the courtroom and won't ever be used inside.
That may play for him politically, but I suspect his defense attorneys consider that to be a nightmare. An unschooled or untrained client can say things that can come back to haunt him or her.
Now, even if Trump is convicted after all of this, there is nothing in the Constitution that would stop him from still running for president. For now, we're live in downtown Miami. Caleb Califano, WPBF 25 News.
Caleb, thank you for that insight. Now, some of Trump's political rivals already starting to weigh in, as you can imagine, including Governor Ron DeSantis, also a presidential hopeful for the 2024 election, saying, quote, "The weaponization of federal law enforcement represents a mortal threat to a free society. The DeSantis administration will bring accountability to the DOJ, excise political bias, and end weaponization once and for all." Arkansas Governor and Republican presidential candidate Asa Hutchinson also tweeting this, saying, quote, "Donald Trump should step aside and put the good of the country above his candidacy." Now, this news also prompts a crowd of supporters that gather frequently outside Mar-a-Lago, and it happened last night. Many brought out their banners, flags, and trucks to show their support for the former president. Now, let me break down what happens next in the days ahead, what plays out right here beside me. We're going to know that he's going to appear Tuesday afternoon in this federal courtroom, coming face to face with a judge. He's going to appear for an arraignment where he will enter his plea. He's claiming innocence. He'll likely enter a not guilty plea. The judge will then set release conditions after hearing from prosecutors and the defense. The Secret Service reportedly meeting right now, talking about staffing for next week, how they plan to protect the former president. We're also told the Justice Department is moving additional resources right down here to Miami. And according to ABC News, former President Donald Trump's team already talking about when the president is here to face those indictments, that perhaps they have a rally for his presidential campaign, again, all right here in Miami. We're going to stay on top of this big story. Again, the nation watching the story, watching South Florida. We have much more on WPBF.com, on our mobile app. We're going to stay live for you throughout the day right here in downtown. Until then, we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.